Okay. So then, now, when does crack? Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We outside, you guys. We outside. We here. We here. We made it. Good morning, squatties. How are you guys doing? I am so sorry, but I had some laptop issues. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. You know, this laptop that I have, it's a fairly new laptop. So I don't know why it was tripping this morning, but it was tripping. Okay. It did not want to work this morning. Now it's working and hopefully it stays working, but I'm definitely going to take this thing back. You feel me? Because we shouldn't be having these issues this early in the game. I've only had this laptop for about 2 months. They make these products cheap, man. They make these products cheap. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? All right, squaddies, good morning. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Those of you who are back, welcome back. We outside, we here, we're going to do the damn thing, okay? So, welcome to Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World podcast channel. And this morning, on this beautiful, lovely Sunday morning, we are going to do a live podcast entitled Success Talk. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, what we do during this live podcast of Success Talk, we have a family chat. Yes, we have a family chat amongst the squatties, amongst the stands and fans of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan. Okay, Meghan the feminist, Meghan the activist, Meghan the mother, the daughter, Meghan the producer, actress, award winning podcast host, social activist, etc., college graduate, etc. New York Times bestseller, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So those of you who came back, thank you. Thank you for coming back. I'm glad that you guys got the notification. So we are here, guys. We're outside and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and get my channel ready. And again, if this is the first time that you are joining us here at Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast, if you like us, if you like our platform, if you love our platform, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But before you hit the subscribe button, you're going to have to understand the rules and the regulations of this live channel, of this live podcast, of this channel. Okay? Okay. So here we go. We here at Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast, we are fans and stands of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. There are no fence riders here. We don't do both sides here. We don't do both sides. We are not Switzerland. We don't do neutral here. Okay? We don't do neutral here. No, 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 no. We don't do neutral here. No. No. We don't like them other people. We don't like them other royals across the pond. We don't like none of them. None. Zilch. None of them. We can't stand them. There are no monarchists here. There are Meganists here. Okay? Meganists, yeah, yeah. But monarchists, hell to the no. We can't stand royal reporters, royal commentators. We can't stand none of them people. Okay? No fence riding. Don't liking both sides. So if you are down with the cause, if you are down with the purpose, if you are down with the mission, then hey, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Okay. All right. Miss Lydia, thank you so much for the donation. Love you lots. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So one thing about our faves, they have been feeding us really good, haven't they? I mean, they really have. And it just seems like that they do it effortlessly, right? They just, you know, living their lives, um, giving back to the communities, and not just the community that they live in, but they are giving back to the global community as well. I mean, these two always have, right? They are not new to this, right? They're just not. But the name of this live podcast is called Team Archwell. Okay, because at the end of the day, Meghan and Harry are giving back to charities through their foundation, which is Archwell or Archwell. If anybody could tell me the correct pronunciation, that would be great. Because some people say Archwell, some people say Archwell. But I'm going to say Archwell. Okay. So the title of today's live podcast is called Team Archwell. And we're going to talk about some of the things that Team Archwell has done and during these past, couple of weeks. And they've done a lot. They have done a lot. Again, if this is the first time that you're listening to this live podcast, I'm going to need you to go to archwellfoundation.com. Okay, seriously. Somebody put that in the chat. Archwellfoundation.com. They have done so much in the past, 3 years, guys? I mean, they really have. And there really needs to be more focus on Archwell Foundation because they do a lot. That foundation does a lot, guys. It really, really does. And it has my God, their outreach, their global outreach is bananas. Right? Isn't Archwell Foundation global outreach bananas? I mean, it's bananas. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and plus some other stuff as well, because you guys know how I do. Team Archwell. Okay, so SmartWorks charity. We all are very familiar with SmartWorks charity, right? This is a charity that Meghan is a patron of. She still continues to be a patron of SmartWorks charity. She initially became a patron of SmartWorks charity when she was a working royal. All right. And she's raised a lot of money for this charity. A lot of money for this charity, right? And when Harry and Meghan made the smart decisions not to continue to be working royals anymore, there were some charities that they no longer could be the patron of, right? Some of the royal charities. But SmartWorks charity was like, oh no, we still want Duchess Meghan. So Duchess Meghan is still the patron of SmartWorks charity. And it's a very smart, calculating decision that SmartWorks charity made regarding maintaining Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, as their patron, right? Because they know, they know that Meghan the Duchess of Sussex has global massive outreach, right? Their CEO, COO, whoever understood the assignment from the very beginning. They did not pay attention to the negative noise. They were like, hey, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, raised all this money for us, right? She has global outreach. She had global outreach before she was even a working realm. But anyway, moving on. SmartWorks charity, they are celebrating 10 years. Okay. They've been in the game for 10 years. And what we found out was that their Patreon, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, reached out to them and wrote them a letter, which is awesome. I love this picture. Okay. You talk about diversity, right? I mean, really pay attention to the picture on your right. Okay, really pay attention to that picture. I mean, the diversity is beautiful. Okay, beautiful, and it just goes to show that SmartWorks charity, obviously their outreach is very diverse and inclusive as well. Um, and that's what it's about, right? That's what it's about. It's about women helping women. Okay, it doesn't matter your race, cultural, ethnic background, doesn't matter your age. If you're a woman, we're going to help you. Right? If you're a woman that needs a job, a woman that needs clothes for a job interview, we're going to help you, sis. Right? We're going to help you, sis, for the simple fact that you are a sister. Okay, you are a sister in arms. Right? You guys know my Yorkie is always bothering me during these live podcasts. Hold on. Trust me, pretty soon you're going to hear him barking. The best back to SmartWorks charity. So, like I was saying before, that they are celebrating 10 years in the game. Okay, and those of you who do not know what SmartWorks charity is, it's a charity that's based in the UK, and what they do is that they women who are getting back into the workforce, uh, that are going on job interviews, they actually help these women get clothes. They provide these women clothes for their job interviews. They provide them very, professional uh, clothes for their job interview. And what this does is it actually helps them help. It actually helps women secure jobs. Okay. And, when you give somebody, business clothes, professional clothes, um, it puts them in a frame of mind to where they believe in themselves, right? What it does is it boosts that person's confidence, right? When you give somebody a nice business suit or some really good professional clothes to wear, it boosts confidence, right? It boosts that person's morale. It gives them confidence when they go into that job interview, and that's what SmartWorks charity does. But anyway, if you look over to the left, SmartWorks charity, over the years, I've seen firsthand this. Let me I'm talking too fast here. Again, SmartWorks charity, 10-year anniversary. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is celebrating with them, and she wrote them a letter. And this is the letter that I'm about to read. Okay. Okay. Beginning quote. And this is from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. This is her letter to SmartWorks charity. Beginning quote. Over the years, I've seen firsthand the unforgettable smile that comes across a woman's face when she receives a SmartWorks experience of care, inspiration, and empowerment. Something changes for her in that moment and sets her on a path she may never have thought possible. Isn't that true? I mean, that is so true. That's a very detailed statement with depth, right? It really truly is. All right. Let's see. Go to the next slide. No, I'm moving too fast. Hold on. There was more to that statement. If you guys go on SmartWorks Charity, if you go to X and if you go on their page, right, it has like Meghan's full letter, but I'm going to go ahead and finish reading it. At SmartWorks, you are investing in the future of women and as a result, the world. I am so grateful to all of you who make this work possible each and every day, celebrating you from across the pond and wishing you another amazing decade. Now, isn't that awesome? That is awesome. And I would not be surprised if Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, launches an American SmartWorks charity. Like, seriously. I'm serious. Okay. She may not use that name, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if she starts up a charity that's like SmartWorks here in the United States. Wouldn't be surprised at all. So again, congratulations to SmartWorks Charity. Congratulations to that charity. Congratulations to all of the women who are benefiting from SmartWorks Charity. I think it's awesome. Okay. And at the end of the day, it's about impact, right? Isn't it about impact, guys? It's about impact. It's about giving back to the communities that you live in. It's about giving back, helping, supporting the global community as well. Because at the end of the day, we're all connected, right? Somehow, some way, we're all connected. You guys might hear me. I'm walking around. I'm trying to do two things at once, but I'm walking around. Um, but when I say impact, I really mean impact. Okay. When I was on X and I was on SmartWorks Charity, right? I was on their page and I was reading the comments and I noticed this comment and I thought, wow, this is what it's all about, right? Now, this is somebody posted this and it appears to me that this person actually got services from SmartWorks Charity. Okay. And they posted, I have to personally thank you. And this is to SmartWorks Charity. I have to personally thank you. After having my daughter and being on benefits for 5 years, I didn't have anything to wear to my interview for a TV job. I was given vouchers for clothes by the jobs century for Topshop. I went to 4 stores and couldn't find a skirt and shirt. Size 14. I went back to the job century and was referred to you. Imagine my surprise when I walked into a beautiful room and was treated to rails of clothing my size. I was treated like a princess that day, something I have never forgotten. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Doesn't that warm your heart, guys? Like, seriously, right? Doesn't that warm your heart? I mean, her self esteem probably, um, was a negatively, in a negative way, probably impacted a little bit because she couldn't find her size. And, really a size 14, that's kind of a common size, right? I mean, I'm a size 12, right? So a size 14 really shouldn't be that hard to find. I don't know if the sizes in the United Kingdom are different from sizes in the United States, but so I'm pretty sure her self-esteem was, it probably got, you know, impacted in a negative way when she couldn't find her size. But it's awesome that she got a referral to SmartWorks Charity. And when she got there, they treated her like a princess, right? They treated her like a princess. They treated her like she matters and that she's important and that they're going to do whatever they need to do to make sure that she gets the help that she needs so she can get a job. So this is awesome. And just think, this had such a positive impact on her. I'm pretty sure somehow, some way, she's had a positive impact on somebody else who was in the same situation that she was in. Okay. Do I know that for a fact? Of course I don't. Elaine Parker. Oh my gosh, Elaine, how are you doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I see that you are a member. Oh my goodness. Welcome, 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 welcome. What time is it in the UK? What are you guys about 6 hours ahead of us? But it's good to see you, sis. And thank you so much. So again, congratulations to SmartWorks Charity. 10 years. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to have many, 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 many more years to come as long as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is their Patreon. All right. So remember when this story came out right after the Invictus Games had concluded? Remember this story? Remember this senator from Kenya had released, to the press that she and Meghan were going to partner up and fight, period, poverty. Okay. Remember that. Now, I know when this story first came out, I think it was a day after the Invictus Games concluded. I was just a little hesitant, just a little, because people put out stories about the successes all the time, right? And sometimes those stories just are not true. But I figured, hey, this lady is a senator. There's no need for her to not tell the truth about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And again, this lady is a senator from Kenya. I know I'm going to mess her name up, but it's Senator Woba or Woba. I hope I'm saying that right. I highly doubt it, but this lady is a senator from Kenya. Okay, and those of us who watched the Invictus Games, we saw her chopping it up with Prince Harry, right? We saw that, which was beautiful to see. But after the Invictus Games concluded, Senator Orwoba had done an interview with a newspaper, I believe that was out there in Kenya, and she said that, hey, me and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, we're going to come together and we're going to fight, period, poverty. We're going to do something together. Well, turns out that she was absolutely correct. Okay, she was telling the truth, which I probably shouldn't have doubted it, right? But when it comes to the successes, we squatties, we got PTSD, don't we? It's like we have PTSD when it comes to the squatties, right? It's like I shouldn't say when it comes to the squatties, but when it comes to Meghan and Harry, we have PTSD. It's like all these stories come out about them, and we got to keep it real, right? At least 90% of the stories aren't true. It's like we have to hear it from Prince Harry and Meghan. Archwell Foundation has to make that announcement. Their spokespeople have to make that announcement, right? Before we believe it, right? Isn't that the way it works? It's like Prince Harry and Meghan have to make the announcement themselves, or Archwell Foundation has to make the announcement, or their spokesperson has to make the announcement, or verify the story before we believe it. It turned out to be true. Okay. It turned out to be true. All right. So Archwell Foundation, they put on their website providing back to school essentials for girls in Nigeria. I know Nigeria. I know that country is on fire. Okay. And I'm not saying everybody in Nigeria. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure there's certain parts of Nigeria that are on fire that they're just loving it. That Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is really focusing on that country, and she has made it a part of her mission to support Nigeria because she found out, that she's what, 40% Nigerian, 43% Nigerian. Um, and sidebar, I think I've told you guys that I'm 40% Nigerian, but that's definitely something that I want to research. I do want to find out about Nigerian culture, and I'm hearing from different Nigerian squatties that there are many different, right, ethnic, cultural sets in Nigeria. Which one I am, I don't know. Girl, I don't know. I have no idea. But again, Archwell Foundation, they provided school essentials for girls in Nigeria. Okay. And I'm pretty sure you squatties have already heard this and you've already read up on it. But I think this is just awesome, right? Isn't this awesome? So what they did was they teamed up with this foundation right here in Nigeria, and I know I'm probably going to mess up this name, but it's called, I want to say the Jinko Foundation. If you're not familiar with this foundation, what they do is it says we save and transform lives in Nigeria. We lead complex surgical missions and advance maternal health. We give scholarships to young female victims of terrorism. Now that is right up my alley right there. That's a foundation that I can get behind and support. Okay. Those of you who really, really know me, Special K Thoughts, you know that I am a staunch supporter, okay, of CamFed. I am. As an African American female, it's always been uh, my mission to support African females in African countries. Okay, I don't know what it is, but it's just something that's in my heart to do. Okay, so CamFed is a organization that I support, and there's some other organizations that I support as well in different African countries as well. But this foundation right here, I mean, it sounds like they do wonderful, awesome work. Okay, so Archwell Foundation teamed up with the Jinko Foundation, and I hope that I am pronouncing that right. Okay, I hope I am. In order to get familiar with this foundation, please go on X, formerly known as Twitter, and look at the Jinko Foundation page. Okay, it's awesome. So these are some of the pictures right here of the young ladies that got some essential school supplies from Archwell Foundation. That's awesome. That's them with their bags. That's a beautiful picture. And here, right here, Archwell Foundation, those bags look nice. And for what I'm hearing is that the bags were actually supplied by one of Meghan's fellow uh, friends who either used to be an actress or who was still an actress. I have to pull up her name, but isn't that awesome? And those young ladies are going to benefit from that. It looks like the one young lady on the right, the picture on the right, looks like she's holding up a water bottle, and that water bottle probably isn't cheap, right? And I know that the bags are not cheap. The bags look good. These young women right here, I mean, aren't these women pretty? Aren't these young ladies pretty? I love their hairstyles. I really, really do. And I love the picture in the back, Archwell Foundation. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this picture because I wanted to talk. Okay, so those bags, there was a squatty on X that pointed out some really good information about the bags. Okay. So, okay, so everybody knows who Royal Suitor is. I'm pretty sure if you're on X, you know who Royal Suitor is. Okay. RS Lock. Um, So she had posted, cool to see Pretty Little Liars alumni Shay Mitchell tag teaming with Archwell to support the Jinko Foundation via her company at, I want to say, Bais Travel. Meghan putting her network to work. Okay, so it appears in regards to the bags, which actually is some pretty important information. Those bags were supplied by Pretty Little Liars alumni Shay Mitchell. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys who are listening or how many of you guys are in the chat who watch Pretty Little Liars, but I used to watch that show all of the time, child, girl. That used to be my show back in the day. But Shay, she was actually one of the actresses that participated with Meghan and Serena Williams. She played in the football game, during the Super Bowl back in what, 2014, 2013, right? Shay, Meghan, and Serena were on the same team. Okay. Shay is real pretty. Okay. Um, but hey, I mean, that just goes to show that Meghan is maintaining her Hollywood connections, right? She is maintaining her Hollywood connections and she's networking. So that's awesome. That is awesome. And see, it goes back to what I was saying during one live podcast about Hollywood, right? And how you got these royal reporters and royal commentators who are constantly bashing Hollywood, constantly bashing actresses, making it seem like that they're so shallow and all they care about is themselves and they're so narcissistic. And they do that, right? They do that because Meghan is an actress, right? They're quick to say, oh, Meghan and Harry, now they're celebrities. They're not royals. There's nothing wrong with being a celebrity. There's nothing wrong with being a famous person, right? If you're the type of celebrity or type of famous person that is giving back to your community or just giving back, period. Um, and that appears to be what Shay Mitchell is doing. Okay. Shay Mitchell, who was in Pretty Little Liars. Okay. And evidently, either her and Meghan were friends while Meghan was on Suits, or just acquaintances who have kept in touch over the years. But Shay Mitchell's company supplied these beautiful bags for these young ladies in Nigeria. So that's awesome. That really is awesome. And it's great that squatties were able to do some digging, doing some research and connecting the dots. I think that's great. All right. So I wanted to talk about this because this is important. And I wanted to point this out because it really honestly is about Meghan and Harry's global outreach, right? It's about their massive appeal. The Gringo. Okay, those of you who are familiar with the Gringo, you know that they have a newsletter, they have a newspaper, and they also have a TV channel. Okay, I had no idea that I had the Gringo TV channel. Had no idea whatsoever. Okay, it's amazing what these smart TVs have, right? I mean, it's amazing. But the Gringo, they actually wrote a story about Meghan and Harry sending school supplies to Nigeria. Okay? They actually wrote a story about it. So that is awesome. So in this headline right here, it says after learning she is 43% Nigerian, and I think that's a typo. After learning she is 43% Nigerian and she welcomed Team Nigeria, or it could be he. It could be he, I guess. After learning she is 43% Nigerian and he welcomed Team Nigeria at the Invictus Games, the couple continued to show the African nation love. Okay. But what I loved about this story, right, was the fact that they went on to say Meghan's charitable efforts in African countries didn't start when she learned her heritage. She has been providing support throughout the continent for almost a decade. In 2016, as a World Vision Ambassador, she visited a school in Rwanda and helped bring clean water to their community. In 2019, during a memorable first trip to South Africa, oh, I can't read that. Hold on. What you guys have to understand is that there's a bar that like blocks some of the stuff that I read. So I have to like go back into my gallery on my phone. So I'll start here. In 2016, as a World Vision Ambassador, she visited a school in Rwanda and helped bring clean water to their community. In 2019, during a memorable first trip to South Africa, she gave loved but outgrown clothes from her son Archie and her friends' children to a charity for moms. Okay. So big up to the gringo, okay, that for the fact that they highlighted, facts that, Meghan is not new to this. She's true to this. She has been supporting African countries since 2016. And you know what, guys? I wouldn't be surprised if she was doing it way before 2016 as well. Because we don't know everything about Meghan. And having a mother like Queen Doria, I'm pretty sure that she's been supporting um, African charities, way before 2016. So I thought that was cool that the gringo, pointed that out. I was glad to see that they let it be known, okay, that this is not Meghan's first time supporting African charities, and she's not just doing it because she found out that she's 43%, 40%, whatever percent Nigerian. Okay. All right. Connie Balmer. Oh my goodness, Connie. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a super sticker. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And again, congratulations, Elaine Parker. You are a new member of this channel. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the comments, go into the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Once it pulls up. Oh my goodness. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about? So true. Miss Jones says those tabloids, haters, trolls don't count. More and more people can see through them. So true. So true. I mean, you can see it, right? I mean, in my opinion, you can see the grip, right? The hateration grip slowly, right? Slowly, but surely is getting more loose. Right? It's getting looser and looser and looser. Um that stronghold that the hateration had over Meghan and Harry's story, right? It's starting to loosen up a little bit. I mean, it has been for a while. It really started when they moved to America, but just unfortunately, you've got certain American media outlets who are on the same hater train as the UK media. But I'm telling you, right? And this is just my humble opinion. Okay, it's just Special K thoughts. Thoughts. My humble opinion. Okay, because we all have them. And just because I feel this way doesn't mean that I'm right. I like to believe that I'm right, but it doesn't believe that I'm right. But I really honestly do feel that the more that we see Harry and Meghan out in the community, and I don't mean shopping, I don't mean Prince Harry golfing or Prince Harry going to the gym. Remember the pictures that they had of Prince Harry going to the gym? I didn't talk about that and I didn't post those pictures because that's their business, right? That's his business, right? Let the man live. Um, when I say the more we see them out in the community, I'm talking about in a service role. Okay. The more that we see them out in the community at charity events, volunteering, doing things like that, I feel it benefits them. Okay. The more we hear about Archwell Foundation supporting charities globally and supporting charities within the United States, it benefits them more. Okay. I feel special K thoughts. These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts that the more Harry and Meghan are not intermingled, tied to the royals, the more it benefits them. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Like if the headlines are just about Harry and Meghan, it benefits them more. Okay. But see, this is the catch 22. In regards to the royal family, right? For the royal family, if the headlines are about the royal family and Harry and Meghan, it benefits the royal family. So that's what the conflict is. That's what the conflict is. Okay? Harry and Meghan, when the headlines are just about them, when the headlines are just talking about their work or just talking about what they're doing, okay, it benefits them. It benefits Harry and Meghan when they're not tied to the royal family. I'm telling you, it does. Okay. We've just experienced it, guys. The Invictus Games. I mean, there was so much positivity about the Invictus Games, and the headlines were just about the Invictus Games. That's all the headlines were. Okay. If there was any negativity, it was coming from certain segments of the British press. Okay. But let's keep it real. The global media didn't really pay attention to what the British press had to say about the Invictus Games because it was so petty. Right? It was so petty. Meghan was three days late because she wanted to be mommy. I mean, nobody paid attention to that shit. Okay. So you got the Invictus Games. I mean, overall, just nothing but positivity. And the headlines were about Prince Harry and Meghan. Right? The Kevin Costner event. Okay, the 1805 live event. Charity that raises funds for first responders in Santa Barbara and the surrounding communities. Okay. And those funds go to first responders, mental health. Nothing but positivity. Okay. At least within the American press. Right? If there was any negativity, it was coming from the British press. And to be honest, I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't. Okay. I mean, they tried really, really hard to spin that in a negative way, just in regards to saving face, right? They were trying to save face because all the articles that they had written before were that Harry and Meghan had been shunned by Hollywood's A-listers, right? And bam, they show up to this charity event by the one of the A-listers, period, in Hollywood, Kevin Costner. And they were special guests. They were special guests handing out awards. They had Prince Harry gave an award to Kevin Costner. And who else was there? Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, right? That benefited Harry and Meghan. This story right here, Archwell Foundation giving school supplies to young women in Nigeria. Nothing royal about that, right? Nothing royal about Archwell Foundation supporting charities in Nigeria. Nothing royal about Archwell Foundation or Harry and Meghan, right? More so, it's really with that. The one 805 live was more so about Harry and Meghan. Nothing royal about those two going to that charity event, giving Kevin Costner an award, them supporting first responders. Right? There's nothing royal about that. The Invictus Games. Was there anything royal about the Invictus Games? Seriously. Anything royal about that? Uh-uh. Because Harry and Meghan are proving what? What are they proving? What are they proving? That's what they're proving. Right there, what Sherry Ware is saying in the comments. That service is universal. Right? That's what they're proving. They're proving that they can service the global community without being working royals. Okay? They don't need to be underneath that royal banner to be relevant. Okay? But what is the royal family showing? What is the royal family and the royal commentators and the royal rodent reporters? What are they doing? They certainly are not doing the royal family any favors with these petty ass little stories that they put out every hour. Okay? I mean, really think about it. Almost every royal headline is a swipe at either Harry or Meghan, or it's a swipe at them both. The headlines are, it's very rare that you read a headline where it's just about the royal family only. Okay. There's always got to be some type of snide swipe at Harry and Meghan. Like, why do we need to know? Like, seriously, why do we need to know that Prince Charles, not Prince Charles, King Charles, King Corrupt, wouldn't allow Harry to stay at Windsor Springs? Like, why do we need to know that? That was really none of our business. Prince Harry, Prince Harry is a grown man. Okay. Like, why put out stories like that? It just makes King Charles look petty, right? Okay, I'm going back into the comments, and I see that you guys understand what I'm trying to say. The royal family needs Harry and Meghan way more than Harry and Meghan need the royal family. Harry and Meghan can drop them damn titles tomorrow. And I guarantee you nobody would care. Except the royal family. Right? Nobody would care except the royal family, because the royal family knows that Harry and Meghan are keeping them in the news, are keeping them relevant. They don't care that it's negative. They could care less, right? They don't care it's negative stuff. They could care less. For some reason, they think that they're winning the PR war. Well, you may be winning the PR war in the United Kingdom, and you may be winning the PR war in Australia, you know. Over here in the United States, no, you're not winning the PR war. This country is too big, right? This country is too big. Okay, I'm in the comments. How you doing, Little Mac? So Little Mac says, Special K, I agree. You notice to try to include the royal family instead of saying Harry and Meghan mingled with the crowd at Kevin's event. The BM said a semi-rural walkabout. Bam, exactly. Exactly right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Right? A semi-rural walkabout? Now you know no American reporter wrote that article. Ain't no way in the world that person was American that wrote that, right? No, it wasn't a semi-rural walkabout. They were intermingling with the community. They were networking. They were intermingling with the community. They were meeting people, right? It was not no semi-rural walkabout. They didn't have a certain section blocked off where people were lined up to shake their hand. Excuse me, that's not what happened. No, they were in the crowd, right? Walking around talking to people. Okay? Good point. Okay. How you doing, H Knight? Channel member, how you doing? H Knight says, I agree with you on that. They need to separate themselves from them because the fact that Harry and Meghan are popular is keeping those other boring roles in the news. It's so true. Okay. And I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from. It is so true. Okay. Let's talk about Wank's New York trip. Perfect example. Let's talk about Wank's New York trip. Seriously. I don't know how many Americans are in the chat or how many Americans are listening. I know this channel. I mean, the majority of people who listen to this channel are Americans, which is great. Okay, because I'm American, and I think the second biggest group are actually people from Canada, and then the UK. So North America, you guys know how we do. But seriously, think about Wank's New York trip. I mean, bloop, that was it, right? He came out here. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell the truth. It was reported on, okay? Because I saw CBS News do like a brief report on it. Okay, I mean some of the major American media, mainstream news reported on it. I mean, of course they're gonna report on it. He's a royal. He's and not just because he's a royal, but they reported on it because he is next in line to be king, right? I mean, let's put some perspective on this. Wank is next in line to be king. And that could happen anytime because King Corrupt is what, 75? You know, King Corrupt may not be like his mama and live until he's 95. He may stroke out or whatever tomorrow. There's a reason why his fingers are so fat. In my opinion, there's some type of a health issue with that. But I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know. Um, but to have them fat sausage fingers like that, I mean, to me, that's a sign of some type of medical condition. But again, perspective. Wank is going to be king in the near future, so of course, the mainstream American media news sites are going to report about his trip to New York. They reported it, and then it was off everybody's radar literally the next day. Okay. And I noticed when they reported it, there really wasn't a huge focus spotlight on Earthshot. Sorry, there wasn't. Okay. When Harry and Meghan had that New York business trip, I'm telling you, they reported on that. And I'm being honest, for at least a week. Seriously. Why? Probably because what probably added to that was the fact that they did the speeches at the Vox Live concert, right? But let's compare the two trips, seriously. Okay, and I'm reading your comments. I am while I'm talking. Um, what type of impact did Prince William's trip to New York have compared to the type of impact that Harry and Meghan's trip to New York had? Seriously, right? I mean, when you really think about it, Prince William's trip was a vanity trip. It was staged, those stage photos. It was a vanity trip. I bet you there ain't nobody who even knows who I guess the finalists are of the Earthshot thing. I bet you nobody even knows who those finalists are. Does anybody even care? Right? I mean, he went there during the week that the UN was having the what the global right the global warming week, right, where they had all these different important speakers. Prince William basically tried to stage a coup and he basically presented himself as being a part of that global summit that the United Nations was having. And he was not a part of that. He wasn't a part of that at all. He wasn't invited to the United Nations to speak. Who was invited to the United Nations to speak? Who? Who? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has been invited to the United Nations to speak. His brother, Prince Harry, has been invited to the United Nations to speak. Prince William was not invited to the United Nations to speak. He set up his own summit with has been former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who has no um, position anymore in New York politics. Okay. He has no influence anymore. None whatsoever, because people really thoroughly got pissed off at him when he was trying to regulate the size of what was Michael Bloomberg trying to do? He was trying to regulate like the size of McDonald's meals, right? Remember that? Like he was really trying to regulate portion sizes of um fast food restaurant meals. I mean, I understood where he was coming from, but at the end of the day, an adult is an adult, and an adult can make decisions that they want to make in regards to food, what the food portion that they want to eat. If somebody wants to eat, you know, a Big Mac meal with extra large fries and an extra large Coke, that's their business, right? That is their business. Okay. But anyway, Michael Bloomberg, when he left as mayor of New York, he didn't leave on a high note. Okay. Um, but seriously though, I mean, what Prince William tried to do, he pulled the propaganda crap, right? It was all propaganda. It was all fake. It was all a setup. Okay, and I'm telling you, Prince William is gonna find out real quick over here in America, right? American dignitaries and Americans that are influential and that are in high places, they're not gonna put up with that shit. They're not. They're not gonna put up with, just because you're a royal, that we're just gonna fall in line and be a part of your propaganda bullshit. Okay, some of them will. Some of them will because they want to be in the good graces, of a king, a future king. but many won't. They're going to want to see the impact of what he's doing. And, at the end of the day, if Earthshot really does have an impact, well, good for him. Seriously, good for him. Okay. If it really does, good for him. Okay. And kudos to the young people that are participating in his Earthshot, whatever it is. If they're coming up with really good ideas that does have a positive impact on our environment, well, kudos to them. Okay. But there's no need to drag Prince Harry and Meghan. Okay. And the way I look at it, if Prince William's Earthshot initiative is so successful, then there's no point in mentioning Prince Harry and Meghan. There's just no point, right? There's no point. They have no business being in those headlines. Okay. No business. If Earthshot is as successful as you guys claim it is, there's no point in putting Prince Harry and Meghan in headlines. None whatsoever. That's all I'm saying. All right, Black Queen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation, sis. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And you got a super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Gwen Stevenson, thank you. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Gwen? It's good to see you in the chat. You got a super sticker too. Awesome. Awesome. But you guys understand what I'm trying to say? It's about impact, right? It's about, if you're doing these initiatives, if you've got these projects or whatever, hey, if you've got positive impact, good for you. Okay? Awesome. If Mumbleina, if her 5-question survey or her what is Mumbleina doing? Seriously, I'm not trying to be funny now. Well, actually I am trying to be funny, but whatever she's got going on, right? With the early years, if it's having not a global impact, but if it's having impact, positive impact in these young children's lives, good for her. Awesome. I just don't understand why Meghan got to be in the headline. Right? Why Meghan got to be in the headline? If you're, Kate the Great, savior of everybody in the whole damn world. Kate the Great, she, if you're in trouble, call Kate the Great. She'll fix it for you. If you got problems with your brother, call Kate the Great. Kate the Great, Mumbleina Middleton. She's gonna work that out for you. Right? Kate the Great. She's putting the whole monarchy on her back because she's gonna save the monarchy. Right? Kate the Great is gonna save the monarchy. She's gonna carry the monarchy through the 22nd century, whatever, right? However, she will never, ever in life, ever forgive her sister-in-law because her sister-in-law made her cry. But she's Kate the Great, though. She's going to make sure that William and Harry become brothers again. She's going to save that relationship, but she can never in life, ever, 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 ever forgive her sister-in-law, Meghan, because she made her cry, and Meghan did the unthinkable. Meghan told the truth that she was the one that made Meghan cry because she wanted the bridesmaid dresses to be redone within 4 days, even though it wasn't her wedding, it was Meghan's wedding. You can't make that shit up, right? The British press, royal commentators, royal reporters, whatever, they're going to be Kate Middleton's downfall. I'm serious. The way they prop that woman up to make it seem like that she's just so perfect and she never does anything wrong. They're not doing her any favors. None whatsoever. Okay, let me go ahead and move on. All right, guys, it's time for the jackass of the week. You guys probably think I wasn't going to do a segment, huh? Jackass of the week, because yeah, buddy, there's a jackass. Okay, there's jackasses everywhere, but this is a jackass that I had to highlight. Okay, I had to highlight this jackass. All right. And she looks like one too, right? I mean, a lot of the jackasses that I highlight, a lot of them look alike, right? A lot of them have that same look, right? But this jackass right here, okay, this jackass. Let me go ahead and warm up. This jackass right here is Carolyn Graham. Okay, she's a writer for the Daily Mail. Um, Many people in the Success Squad are familiar with Miss Graham. She's written constant negative stories about Meghan. Um, I believe she is the reporter that actually moved, if I'm not mistaken. I think she is the reporter that actually moved to Mexico, right next door to the sperm donor. Okay, to get information from him. She cozied up to him so she can get information from him. All right. So, Carolyn, she wrote an article. Okay. And, this rumor has been going around for a couple of years now. But she wrote an article about Meghan considering to run for political office. Uh, One of the greatest senators ever, Senator Dianne Feinstein, passed away. She passed away Friday. She was 90 years old. She's been a senator my whole life. I'm very familiar with Dianne Feinstein. Um, my mother actually worked with Senator Dianne Feinstein a couple of times. So, when Senator Dianne Feinstein passed away, I got a call from my mom, and my mom was very upset about it. But we all know that, Senator Dianne Feinstein is in a better place and she's resting in peace. Right. So I'm very familiar with Senator Dianne Feinstein, growing up in California, growing up in Central California. Um, she didn't represent my district. Well, actually, she did because she's a senator, I think. Right. Anyway. But Senator Dianne Feinstein passed away Friday. So even before she passed away, um, the press, the Daily Mail, had already started writing articles that Meghan was considering to run for Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat. Remember the article that came out that the governor of California had blocked Meghan because she was calling him all the time about running for Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat. And we all know that's not true. We all know that's a lie. Um, but anyway, this jackass Caroline wrote this story about Meghan considering, and you got to use the verbiage, not use. I mean, you really got to pay attention to the verbiage that these so-called journalists use because they don't want to get sued, right? Meghan Markle considers, right? She considers run for office. Okay, did you interview Meghan to say that? Right? Did you actually interview her and those words came out of her mouth? Like, really? Um, but when I talk to other squatties, a lot of squatties, are like, why do they keep on pushing this narrative? Why do they keep on writing these articles saying that Meghan has political aspirations? Like, why? Where is this coming from? Like, Meghan has never, right, um, gave any indication that she has considered going into politics. Okay. Just because you participate in politics, right, it doesn't mean that you want to run for a political position. Okay. We all participate in political events, right? A lot of us do, right? If you vote, if you're a voter, you're participating in the political system, right? If you donate to somebody's campaign, you're participating in the political system, right? If you read political opinions, right? If you watch the news, right? If you watch debates, right? You are participating in the political system. We all should be. Whatever country you live in, you should be participating in your country's political system. You should know what's going on and be fully aware of who's representing you locally. Politics are local. My God, politics are local, right? I mean, they really, really are. Politics are local. And many people in these southern states are finding that out real quick. Okay, that's where the power is, local. Okay, those yahoos that you see on TV, they're up in Washington. You need to be paying attention to the yahoo that represents you in your community that has an office somewhere in your community. That's the yahoo. That's the political idiot you need to be paying attention to, because that person does have direct power in your life. Okay? I'm serious about that. Whoever your state representative is, you need to be paying attention to that idiot. Okay? Maybe you have a good state representative. I don't know. But I'm just saying, because I don't trust none of them. But back to this article. So it's like, why do they keep on writing these articles that Meghan wants to run for political office? Why? Where is this coming from? Why keep this machine going? Right? Why keep this machine going? Like I said, Meghan is political. She does participate in political events. She does participate in the political system, which we all should be, right? We all should be, but that doesn't mean that she wants to run for a political office. So where is this coming from? Is it because they're not used to somebody who's a part of the royal family that speaks out about politics? Could that be where it's coming from? Or just could it be that they know when they write articles like this, it drums up, right? It drums up the conservative hate, right? Because it drums up the conservative hate. Okay. Here in America, we will vote for somebody who's famous. Okay. Okay. We will vote for somebody who's famous. We will vote for a celebrity. Okay. Like, seriously. We've done it before and we'll do it again. All right. We had a president, two presidents, right? We had one president that was a legitimate actor. Okay. And we had another president, right, who was famous, a celebrity, and basically a fraud, right? But, right, I'm talking about Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor, right? Who was the wrestler? There was a wrestler that was actually in Congress. I can't remember who that person was. Okay, but we actually had a former wrestler that was very famous that ran for a political office and won. Okay, you got a lot of people who want to see Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, run for office. So, excuse me. So Sorry about that. So being famous, being a celebrity, running for political office, that's nothing new to us Americans. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why does this continue? Why this narrative continues? Why this machine continues for Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex? Is that who that was? Okay. Jesse Ventura. Okay. Yeah, you guys know. So us Americans, it's nothing new for a famous person, a celebrity, to run for office and win. Okay. Oh, so he was the governor. Was he the governor? Oh, Jesus. So he was the governor of Wisconsin. There you go. All right. I mean, me personally, I think the reason why they do it is because they want to drum up the MAGA conservative hate against her. Right. They just want to continue to drum up hate against her. And it's not just Meghan that they do it to, right? When it comes to famous black women, women of color. I mean, they're constantly targeting Michelle Obama, wanting her to run for president, right? Constantly targeting her. That died down a little bit, but trust me, it'll drum back up again, right? I mean, there was talk of people wanting Oprah to run for president, right? Um, so yeah, it's to drum up the MAGA, the conservative hate, right? But in a way, to me, it's also a way to drum up the liberal hate as well, right? Because liberals be like, "Well, who does she? What makes her think that she's, qualified to be running for office?" Da 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 da. It's to me, it's to drum up hate all around, actually, but really more so the MAGA Republican hate. Um, I was reading an article, and I didn't really talk about it because I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up because I think it's appropriate for this subject. I was reading an article where 45, 45 actually said that he wanted to debate Meghan, and he felt like he could beat her in a debate. And I was thinking to myself, why is she in it? Right? Why is she in it? You won't even take your fat orange ass to go debate your fellow Republicans who are running for president, but you want to debate Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex? Like, why? Why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because the ratings would go through the roof, right? And it would bring so much attention to him, right? And even if she wiped him on the floor, he would still say that he won the debate, right? He would still say that he won the debate. But yeah. It's just crazy to me. And I just wish and I hope that the next time Meghan does an interview that person asks her, "Do you have any aspirations to run for political office?" To where she could say hell to the no. I don't. No. But even if she said no, they would still write these articles, right? They would still write these articles. They still would. But okay, before I make this comment, let me go ahead and go into the chat real quick because I did see some really good comments. Okay, Marshar says they write that crap about Meghan wanting to go into politics because they want to try to anger their American public. Don't they realize that citizen can run for office here? Americans don't care. And that's what I was saying, right? Yeah, you nailed it, Marshar. And that's what I was saying. Americans here, we Americans, we used to famous people running for office, and we will elect them. If we feel that they can do the job, we will elect them. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger was my governor for what? I don't know how many years, but he was my governor. Okay, and I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger first got into office. Um, I think it was my mom or somebody. They were so happy because they had gotten like a $1,200 check from him. Why? Because found out that the California DMV was ripping people off. But anyway, yeah, it's like we Americans don't care. We don't. Okay, we'll elect somebody who's famous, somebody who's a celebrity in a heartbeat, if we feel that they can do the job. Yep. Oh, I believe it. Mr. Laura says Carolyn Graham made up that story. Megan joined the push for people to vote. Yep. Okay. Little Max says it is to support one of the two narratives. The first is she is married Harry as part of political mastermind, or the other narrative that she wants to destroy the monarchy. Could be. Let's see. She did, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Marshall says this is about Carolyn Graham. She moved next door to Fat Boy. Maybe Carolyn Graham and Tommy Boy are doing the do. Maybe she wants her own Meghan Markle from him. Uh, okay, so Age Knight says she's doing this because politics are very polarizing these days, and she's trying to those MAGA people to start attacking her like that idiot Trump. Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Tie her into anything that's polarizing. I'm still reading your comments, just in case you're wondering why I'm not talking. Yep. And that's all she's really doing, right? So Miss Adrian says when Megan talks, it's because she's fighting for a cause and she's sharing her voice. Exactly. That's all she's doing. Doesn't mean that she wants to go into politics. So Sherry says they keep writing these line articles because they can, draws hate, and they were given the okay by the unrurals. Yep. And if Megan ran, I would support her. More power to her, right? Because we know she get the job done, right? We know she get the job done. We know that she will be a good senator, a good representative, whatever whatever capacity she wanted to run. I mean, it is what it is with that, and she would win. She she would win in a landslide. Okay, that's that. Okay, all that fundraising. Whoo, Jesus! Imagine if she ran all the fundraising, fundraising money she would get. That man, that'd be a wrap. Okay, so Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota. Okay, so he was the governor of Minnesota. I think I said he was a senator, so he was the governor of Minnesota. Okay. So Sunshine says they like to tear black women down. Yeah. They don't want no black woman of color in power. Look at what they're doing to VP Kamala Harris. right? That's why they keep on pushing that narrative that Joe Biden is way too old to be in office because they scared that if something happens to him, then what's what's going to happen? If something happens to him, then what's going to happen? You're going to have a black woman as president of the United States. Whoo! Right? And what's so sad about that whole situation right there, right? A lot of the hate that VP Kamala Harris gets, it's not just from racists, right? It's not just about racism, it's about sexism, right? It's about sexism, probably more so sexism than racism. And the reason why I say that is because you have a lot of black American men who do not want to see her as president of the United States because they're sexist. We don't talk enough about that. I'm telling you. We do not talk enough about that. A lot of African American men do not want to see Vice President Kamala Harris as president because they're sexist. I'm telling you, they'll go vote for Trump. I'm telling you. We don't talk enough about that. Just saying. I like this username. TBTB says they know it makes people mad and to discourage her, well, it works. Even some supporters get angry too. I would support 100% if she does. Yeah, I would too. I would support her 100% if she does because we all know what her um political ideals are, right? We all know what her political ideals are. They're in line with mine. I can't wait for 45 to go to prison because you guys know it's happening, right? You know it's happening. He is going to prison. 91 counts. Ain't no way in the world he's gonna be cleared of all 91 counts. Not happening. Uh, okay, Daria brings up a good point. Daria says they also say she wanted as a distraction away from Trump indictments and the GOP screw ups. Yeah, I think you have a point there. And the GOP has a lot of screw ups. They really, really do. Like, look what's going on now. I mean, our government almost shut down. The American government almost shut down again, all because it was going to be the GOP's fault. They trying hard to blame the Democrats, but no, it would have been the GOP's fault. It would have been Kevin McCarthy's fault. Okay. The only reason why Kevin McCarthy was able to get that bill, not the bill, but able to get whatever it was passed to keep the government running was because of Democrats. He had to lean on the Democrats to get that bill or to get that initiative passed. Okay. Kevin McCarthy is a dead man walking in Congress. He is. He has no influence, no power. He is probably the most what's what I'm looking for? He is probably the most powerless House Speaker ever. Right? To go from Nancy Pelosi to Kevin McCarthy is a damn shame. Kevin McCarthy has no power. None. He got to lean on Democrats to get stuff done. But yet he want to focus on Hunter Biden. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, that's what I feel, right? A star says Meghan has a degree in international relations and an understanding of Harry role in a constitutional monarchy, although they reside in the U.S., it is still unlikely she would undertake such course. And that's why I brought up the question, like, why keep on pushing this narrative, this machine, right? They keep on pushing it to drum up hate, right? Because they know that there are constitutional issues if she were to run for political office. She's an American citizen, but she has a title, right? She does have a royal title. Excuse me. Okay, this is a username I'm not familiar with. EB Lynn 35 says it's both racism and sexism. They don't want the first woman president to be black and a woman. I don't believe Meghan would get in that mess, especially after the last 7 years. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Rhonda says, I want to know how you can run for president with a felony but can't get an apartment or a decent job with one. Exactly. Exactly. I was watching something on MSNBC where one of the political commentators was saying that I think there's nothing that says that somebody can't run for president if they have a felony. Isn't that crazy? That even if you have a felony, you could still run for president. Wow. Okay. Is she really? Marshall for real? So Marshall says, "Thank God Nancy Pelosi is going to come back and run for Speaker of the House. She will win it too." It really? I didn't know that. So how you doing, sis? So VS Speaks Royally says Meghan would be silenced if she ran for elected office. The haters would want Harry to renounce thereby his children and would also come out of line of succession. I mean, like, if Meghan were to say, "Hey, I'm running for political office," I mean, that whole island would blow up, right? The United Kingdom would seriously blow up, right? And I think certain row reporters would stroke out. The men in gray suits, they would stroke out. They would come up with something to penalize them. But this is the way I look at it, right? They keep on making these threats that they're going to take away their titles. Every time these two make a move, they're going to take away the titles. They threaten to take away the titles. They do these polls. Every time Meghan and Harry make a move, every time they have success, every time they're successful, here come a motherfucking, I'm sorry, a mother freaking poll asking the public, do you think Harry and Meghan uh title should be taken away? And the royal family never does it, right? And then there's excuses. Oh, it's got to go through parliament. Da, 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 da. Well, damn it, then let it go through parliament. Let parliament take a vote on it to remove their titles. But they don't do it. They don't do it. Maybe Meghan running for office will finally push them to do it. But I just really feel like that they don't want to remove their titles. Now here in America, America may lose their shit, right? There might be a lot of Americans who lose their shit if she ran for office because of the titles. Now, I could see Americans saying, "Hey, you got to get rid of the title, girl. That title's got to go." Okay? Now, I can see America pushing for that, right? Because she does. She got to get rid of the title if she were to run for political office. Even I would say that now. Okay? I say, "Okay, okay, girl. You got to get rid of that title." Because here, we don't have titles here. Okay? We fought a war for a reason. All right. Yeah, isn't he? Now I can see him becoming Speaker of the House. I can. Sherry Ware says Hakeem Jeffries is doing well as Minority House Leader for Democrats. He sure is. He sure is. Now I can see him running for Speaker of the House and winning. Okay. And winning. I think he's just biding his time. I do. All right, guys. All right. So now the reason why I put this picture up is because I want to make it very clear. Okay. When that sperm donor goes on TV whining and crying, okay, talk about he want to see his grandchildren. Okay. Meghan's wrong for not allowing him to see his grandchildren. Who do you think's pushing that? Who's pushing sperm donor to get on TV to beg Meghan to let him see his grandchildren? That's what this is all about. Right here. Okay. He want to see his grandchildren so he could feed pictures to that bitch right there. That's what that's all about. Because if he really wanted to see his grandchildren, he wouldn't be going on TV. Mm-mm. He wouldn't be. No. He wouldn't be going on TV doing that. Mm-mm. He would just reach out to Meghan privately and just continue to go that route privately. Right? No. He wants to see his grandchildren because that's what he's promised the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail is all up in that. He gave the Daily Mail the letter and he lied, talking about he gave them one page. Yeah, okay, Tommy. Okay. Right. Okay. The Daily Mail is all up in that. He wants to see his grandchildren, so somehow, some way, he could sneak a picture to the Daily Mail. Okay. I guarantee you, if Meghan were to call up sperm donor and say, you know what, you can meet Archie and Lilibet. But you can't have any cameras. You can't take any pictures. None. This first meeting, I just want you to meet your grandchildren and get to know them. This first meeting. No pictures, no nothing. I guarantee you he would demand that he be able to take a picture with his grandchildren. I guarantee it. He wants to see his grandchildren so he can take pictures with them and sell them to the Daily Mail. That's why he wants to meet them. Because really, honestly, if a father wants a relationship with his daughter, it's not about the grandchildren. It's about his daughter. Right? It's about his daughter. He should just be talking about Meghan, mending his relationship with Meghan, not the grandchildren. I mean, you didn't care about the other grandchildren that you have. I mean, did you beg Samantha Markle to see her children? He probably didn't even know those kids existed. He probably had no idea that Ashley and her brother existed, right? But right here, his pictures right here, that tells you all you need to know when it comes to sperm donor. He wanted to meet his grandchildren so he could take pictures with them and sell them to the Daily Mail. That's what that's all about. And anyway, Carolyn Graham, jackass of the week. Oh, my thing ain't working. For some reason, my donkey sound stopped working. All right. Oh boy. All right. So I heard, and I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you definitely know, right? That Wank and Bones, they're gonna, do something for Black History Month in the UK. All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. But I saw this post on X and I had to talk about it. I just had to because I almost spit out my yak when I read this. So, Omid Scobie, he's a royal reporter. Many in the Success Squad can't stand him. Many in the Success Squad love him. So I think I've said my personal opinion about Omi. He's all right to me, right? He's all right. But Omid Scobie put out the news that Prince William and Princess Kate will mark the start of Britain's Black History Month with a visit to Wales. Okay, and they're going to carry out some engagements in Wales. So get ready, brace yourself, because there's going to be a lot of, you know, propaganda pictures with, the Wales with black folks. All right. So this person on X posted this, right? Fucking Wales. They'd meet more black folks if they just popped in to say hi to their sister-in-law. Okay, this X user, their user name is the main gouch. Okay, this person is not a squatty, right? This person is not a squatty. Okay, and they posted this. Okay, that just goes to show you that globally people are not falling for the game. They're not falling for the propaganda. They see right through the royal family. Okay, they see right through them. They see right through those propaganda royal welfare queens. I mean, that is so funny. That made my day when I read that. Fucking Wales. They'd meet more black folks if they just popped in to say hi to their sister-in-law. Brilliant, brilliant post. Okay, and look at that. This is a picture, right? I'm telling you, this picture right here is an historical picture. It's historical. Okay. Trust me, the royal family and the men in gray suits, they hate this picture because this picture right here tells the true story of how the royal family feels about Meghan and how they've always felt about Meghan. Okay. Look at surly Sophie just glaring at Meghan. Okay. You got a queen and a future queen. Okay. Who look just as rude and hateful as they can be. They knew Meghan was far off to the left and they didn't care. Meghan should be standing right next to Kate. But no, they didn't want her next to Kate. They wanted her as far away and separated from the family as possible. This is at Queen Elizabeth's funeral. This picture right here is historical. Okay? Historical. This is your Black History Month picture right here when it comes to the royal family. There you go. That's the words I'm trying to say. That picture right there says 1,000 words, doesn't it? Okay, where are the body language experts? Where are they at when it comes to this picture right here? Okay. And poor Charlotte. In my opinion, Charlotte looks very uncomfortable because of that situation. Okay. Kids know and feel what's going on. Okay. That's your Black History Month picture right there. We don't like black people. Right there. All right, guys. Well, we have come to an end of this podcast. But before we go, I did want to talk about, I didn't put it in the slides, but for those of you who didn't get a chance to read about it, there was a story that came out about online hate speech in Australia, and that Archwell Foundation has contributed to supporting fighting online hate speech in Australia. That was a story that I think got kind of lost, right, in the sauce, and not that many people paid attention to that story. But Harry and Meghan, Archwell Foundation, they are supporting. They did support this report that came out about online hate speech in Australia, the role of news media and pathways for change. Okay, and that article came out September 25th, 2023. All right, and it's a very, very important report. Very, very important report. And they really focused on how online hate speech is very visible and it's very toxic. Okay, and how it fosters the negative targeting of communities, diminishes people's well-being, erodes social cohesion, and is linked to violence as well as knee-jerk counterproductive policy design. I mean, I can only speak for America, but my God, that's exactly what's happening in our American politics, right? That's exactly what is happening in our American politics. Okay, you got Republicans, I mean, just dehumanizing and vilifying Democrats. Okay. Um, and you have many people here in America who feel like um, if your candidate doesn't win, or if somebody doesn't have the same political views as you, that you have the right to um, partake in violence, either against that person or against that political entity, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me, right? But it's a really, really good report. And it just talks about how complex and evolving information news media institutions have enormous power to influence public discussion and canalize online activity. Way too many people get their news from social media, right? Just way too many people get their news and their information from social media. And watching uh media outlets like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, right? I mean, to a certain degree, it is no better because a lot of the hosts on there, it's opinions. It's people's opinions, right? It's opinionated. Okay. I mean, they may report on facts, but a lot of those panels are debating what their political views are or what their opinions are. I always tell people it's just best to watch your local news media. It really honestly is, right? But social media does influence violence. It does. It influences violence against people. It influences violence against certain entities. And it's scary. We are living in scary times, and I'm not too sure how we as a society can get control of this. I don't know. I don't know how we as a society can get control of online hate speech. People are so quick to say freedom of the press, freedom of free speech, but I don't know. I really honestly don't know. And the algorithms are crazy. They really, really are. Um, Maybe it'll change when people are really held to accountability for what they say and what they post on social media. Maybe that's when it'll change, right? Maybe that's when it'll change. Well, people are seriously held accountable. One thing I will say when it comes to the January 6th uh, attempted coup that happened here in the United States, the Justice Department, the court system is holding a lot of people who participated in that accountable. You got a lot of people who got sentenced to jail for long periods of time. So that's comforting to see. Um, oh, thank you, Sherry Ware. Sherry posted the link to that article. It's good. It's really, really good. Um, I don't understand, me personally, I don't understand why there is so much hate coming out of Australia towards Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I don't get it, me personally. Right? Because number one, the royal family don't even pay attention to Australia. Okay. Like, seriously. Like, they don't even pay attention to Australia. So I don't understand all of the hate that comes out of that country for her. Just like the royal family doesn't pay attention to Canada, but Canada doesn't have a lot of hate. There's not a lot of hate coming out of Canada for Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, or Prince Harry. So I don't understand where all that is coming from out of Australia. I didn't know that Australia's were really capping for the royal family like that. There's not that many Australian squatties that listen to this channel, but if there's anybody from Australia who would like to chime in on that, please let us know. Because I don't get it. I really honestly don't. And they really, really gun for her out there. Um, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Also, it's coming from Murdoch. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, the Australian hate is just as bad as the British hate, if not worse, in my opinion. So Australia is Murdoch's headquarters. Okay. See, I didn't know that. I don't pay attention to Murdoch like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read some of your comments, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast. Um, mm-hmm. Miss Annie says, yes, charity begins at home. Start with your biracial sister-in-law and beg for her forgiveness. It's really that simple, right? But they can't do it. They can't do it. Little Max says, poor George, he's always looking down and sad. To me, personally, I don't think he's about that life. I don't think I would not be surprised when he grows up. He's like, I don't want to be king. If the monarchy is still around. Exactly. I agree. Can only imagine what those kids have overheard. Exactly. But I have a feeling there's a lot more going on in that household that has absolutely nothing to do with Harry and Meghan, though. Y'all read them stories about how Bones is not going to Singapore with Wank. She want to stay home because Prince George has got tests that week. Oh, okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Writing's on the wall. I don't understand why those two just don't go ahead and make the announcement. Just make the announcement. I don't even think they live together. So Daria says, by isolating Duchess Meghan instead of making her look bad, in reality, it made Princess Meghan look like the queen with her subjects standing to her left, like they did when Queen Elizabeth was alive. It's true though. You know, if they were just if they could just fake embracing her, right? Just fake it, it would benefit them. It would. It would benefit them, but they can't help themselves. They can't. You know, when Harry says that when he was talking to his father about coming back to the UK after Queen Elizabeth died, and Prince Harry said that he told his father, "Don't you talk about my wife like that." I sure would like to know what King Charles had to say about Meghan. I sure would like to know what he had to say about her. Meghan didn't do anything to King Charles. Your son was the one that decided to leave because you wouldn't call him back. I'm still reading your comments. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this live podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this morning because I enjoyed you guys. I want to thank you guys for listening and having patience this morning because I had some technical difficulties with my laptop, but was able to fix them. So thank you guys for coming back to this live stream. I want to thank all of the channel members, and I want to thank all of the subscribers, and I want to thank everybody who donated. Miss Lydia, thank you. Miss Elaine Parker, thank you. New member, Miss Connie Balmer, thank you for donating. Miss Gwen Stevenson, thank you so much. And Black Queen, thank you so much for donating. Appreciate it. Um, what do we have to look forward to when it comes to the successes? I think what we have to look forward to are just more announcements of them, supporting charities and doing charity work within their own community and throughout the global community. Um, that's what I think that we have to look forward to. And as long as they're happy and safe and doing the work that they want to do, which is service, That's all we can ask for, right? All right, guys. So let's see. No bad energy. Don't forget to feed the chickens. Remember to hydrate, right? Everybody hydrate. Everybody stay safe. Everybody eat well and be happy. Um, and if you are not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to share Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World podcast. And if you want to follow us, you can follow us on YouTube, of course. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Okay. All right, guys. So you guys ready for our rebel yell? Are you ready for the rebel yell? I'm ready. I was thinking the other day, I need to buckle down and put together a new intro. My intro, that intro is old. I mean, I still got the moon up there, knowing I do these live podcasts in the morning. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get ready to do our rebel yell. 1, 2, 3. Continue to wear the SS on your chest. Because squatties, we are the best. All right, squatties, I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. And I will see you guys soon. Okay. Thank you guys. And thank you for the support. Love you guys so much. Bye.